was just after we came back to school from COVID. I started up a NBA jersey reselling business.
Okay.
And by that, I mean I was drop shipping fake NBA jerseys from China. And I spent like a couple of weeks of class time. The whole classes, I was just building out my website. And I probably should have been paying more attention in class, but it was teaching me valuable skills.
Totally.
On not selling fake products.
So welcome along to today's guest, Graeme Campbell. We've known each other for about 6 months now.
6 or 7 months, yeah.
Originally from IHF.
Yes, from the Run Club.
The Run Club.
Floor 12.
That's right. And then we went to IHF afterward, didn't we? Yeah.
You got me hooked on IHF.
I did. Yeah, that's right. I showed you guys around, you and Ben, and maybe Zach at that point.
I think Zach was there as well, and then I signed up the next day and Ben signed up a week later.
That's right, exactly. So what a journey the last 6 to 9 months has been.
Mate, it's been crazy.
It has been crazy. Why don't we start with a bit of a bio? Who are you? What do you do? Very traditional.
Very traditional.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Graeme Campbell. I am a property videographer. I film other stuff as well, but real estate is my specialty, I'd say. And I've been doing this for about 6 months. It was kind of when I first met you that I got into this. Before that, I was at uni, and I sort of realized it's not really my thing. I've had a camera in my hand since I was 12, and I was sitting at home, needed to pay rent. I'm like, what can I do to make some money with my camera? And I had seen some really cool real estate videos. So I went to some open homes and offered some free videos to build my portfolio. And here we are. We got about a dozen consistent clients and only looking to grow.
Yeah, I love that. When you were doing as a hobby, like when you first picked up that camera, was it photo, video? Was it what kind of content were you making?
Just photos. So that
photos,
was
okay.
Landscapes and astros. Astro photos of the stars.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
and I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
I'd love to get back out there and do it.
Yeah, there's some amazing content, right? Especially those hyperlapses. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Nuts.
There's a guy down in Queenstown, right? I think you were telling me he gets like 2 million likes on the posts.
Crazy.
And he just leaves his camera out. He's like, I left my camera out overnight in New Zealand's most beautiful place.
Yeah.
And then he shows the hyperlapse and he gets like 2 million likes.
Yeah, crazy. So you picked up the camera at 12. You would have been at like intermediate / high school at that point. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then you were at high school. You left high school, went straight to uni?
Yes, straight to uni from high school. So I did 1 year there doing a BCom.
BCom, yeah.
Yeah. The whole idea behind that was to start my own business. And I was sitting in the classroom like, this isn't really me starting my own business. May as well actually go do it.
Yeah. And then you saw an ad for the Floor 12 Run Club on Facebook, Instagram?
Ben sent me a post on Instagram. Ben Ferrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ben Ferrier. Okay, cool.
He sent it through. He's like, you keen on this? I'm like, right. Absolutely. I need to run more.
And were you guys flatting together at that time?
We weren't, but we knew we were going to flat together.
Right. Okay.
After that.
Got it. And then you both started your businesses around that same time, right?
Around about the same time. I think he was still in uni at the time, and I'd been doing it for a little bit, has started to make a bit of money, and he's like, oh shit, like Graham's doing this, I'll do this as well.
Yeah.
And
so tell me a little bit about your content consumption interests, like in the last, say, 5 years. Like when did you start watching, listening to, say, like personal development content or motivational content?
That's a great question. It would have been before COVID, definitely before COVID. Right. I was always trying to find ways to make money online, or not necessarily online, but with a business. So it was just after we came back to school from COVID, I started up a NBA jersey reselling business.
Okay.
And by that, I mean I was drop shipping fake NBA jerseys from China. And I spent like a couple of weeks of class time. The whole classes, I was just building out my website. And I probably should have been paying more attention in class, but it was teaching me valuable skills.
Totally.
On not selling fake products.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh man, such a good way to learn though.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I probably sold like 30, 40 jerseys.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which at the time I was stoked with. I
How-
was making, what, 30, 40 bucks per jersey. So
And how are you getting the traffic? How are you getting the
Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah,
Got
I
it.
would. I just follow a ton of people who follow basketball accounts in New Zealand, and then I'll be like, "Hey, bro, like, do you want to get a jersey?"
No way.
Yeah,
That easy.
so, yeah, just random stranger gets DM'd
Yeah,
by someone they don't know, and they end up buying a jersey.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That is so good. I love the era that we're living in now that it's so easy to transact
yes,
with people,
mm-hmm.
right? Whether
Yeah.
through e-com or selling stuff. It's just so much different than when I was, say, leaving high school 20 or so years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was e-commerce, but it was the early days. There wasn't drop shipping. There wasn't
Yeah.
Instagram. There wasn't any of those
Yeah,
conduits, I guess, to like either conversate with people or to transact.
mm-hmm.
So quite
'Cause
different.
It would have been like the start of Amazon around then, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was definitely Amazon. There was like eBay. I don't know if TradeMe was around at that point, but it was very much like early stage internet.
Mm-hmm.
It was still pretty weird. It was still pretty foreign.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sort of coming into its own.
definitely like
Yeah.
Web 1.0. I think
Yes.
it's known as. So
Mm.
so okay. So you went from selling fake NBA jerseys
Yeah.
through to doing. That was while you were studying.
That was while I was at high school, yes.
Oh, high school. Okay, got
and
it.
then at the end of high school, I was reselling basketball cards, flipping
Yeah.
those a bit like Gary Vee.
Yeah.
But I ended up...
Really?
Yeah.
Was that based off Gary Vee content?
It was.
Yeah.
That's how I got into it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up just buying them for myself and not making much money because I was spending all the profits on the
Yeah.
cards that I wanted to get.
Yeah.
But I managed to kick that addiction in uni because I was spending all my money on that.
Yeah.
I was still trying to make money with it, but I was spending all the profits. So not the best way to make money.
No, that's right. It's like bar owners that,
drink their profits
drink
away.
a bit too much of their profits. Yeah. And so why did you go to uni versus starting a business or getting a job or?
That's a good question. I think it wasn't expected, but it was kind of like that's what everyone else is doing, especially since I went to St Andrews. I think like the numbers like 80% of students there go to first year university.
Wow.
Yeah, so all my mates were doing it.
Yeah.
A lot of them went to UC, a couple went overseas, Otago, and it just seemed like the right thing to do at the time.
Yeah.
The idea was to have that as a backup plan.
Yeah.
I always wanted to have my own business, and I was like, okay, if I can have the degree as the backup plan, then I'll feel safer. And halfway through uni, I'm just like, I don't need a backup plan. Like if I just commit, then it's going to pay off.
Yeah. Where were your parents in this journey, in this equation? Were they supportive of whatever you decided, or were they leaning toward you going to uni, or what were they?
They were definitely supportive of whatever I do.
Yeah.
Dad said that not the best route, but he would recommend either going to uni or taking a gap year and going overseas and sort of discovering what I wanted to do. But he agreed that uni as a backup plan is probably a good move. And they're both incredibly supportive of everything I do.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, definitely reminds me of like my own situation, going to St Andrews as well, and then just like all of my friends going to university.
Yes.
And I guess back then, I didn't have that self-awareness and that perspective to actually make my own choices. And
Right.
it just seemed like the natural thing to do, and without even questioning it. But I guess with wisdom and like experience, you get that, So
and a lot of the online stuff now, you can sort of get that experience from just consuming other people's content.
Yeah, that's a really good point too, actually. That's a very good point. Because again, back then there wasn't the social media landscape that we've got today. So there wasn't the Gary V's and the, Hormozis or whatever, right? So, okay, so you're in uni and then you're at this moment where you're like, do I leave or do I not leave?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I can't quite remember what the exact moment was, but it was definitely second semester, about halfway through, and like I'm getting decent grades, like a couple of A's, mostly B's.
Right.
Just sort of coasting through, focusing on the gym at the time.
Yeah.
Trying to get bigger. Still am.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if I had to put a finger on it, it was when my old laptop, it started not lasting one class. Like, the battery would die, and I was just like, this is making it even less enjoyable.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when I upgraded to the new MacBook. And I was choosing between the Air and the Pro. And I'm like, if I go for the Pro, then that's going to give me opportunities for video editing down the line.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really put together many videos before that. But I'm like, this is probably something I want to do.
It just felt like the right thing.
It felt like the right thing. So I ended up getting the Pro, spending a lot of student loan on that. I think I still have to pay that off, but we'll keep that quiet. And yeah, started to figure out how I could make money, because I wanted to have a plan before I decided I was definitely going to drop out. And real estate photography was instantly something that came to mind. Instantly. That's where Agentery came from. I started the business and it was going to be a real estate photography company. And I remember I was also looking for flats for the next year. So I pitched my services to a couple of property managers.
Oh yeah.
And I got shot down right away. And then I'm like, maybe this isn't for me. That's all it took was 2 rejections, which is crazy because
self-doubt creeps in.
Yeah. And I definitely wouldn't be down after 2 rejections anymore.
No, you're battle-hardened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I learned quickly.
Those guys, they're just different, right? Managers versus agents.
They are. And I didn't know that at the time. I was like, these are the people I should be pitching to.
Exactly.
And like, no, we just do our own photos on our iPhones.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
And so you left and then Ben left, is that right?
I left half a year before Ben left.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because I remember a sauna chat with Ben, and he was on the verge of deciding what to do, and just going through that process with him, and not wanting to sway him either way, but just sort of talking it out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you left, and then he left, and then you started your business, and so what would that have been like? June-ish? July-ish?
I started doing real estate in June.
Okay.
Yeah. But before that, I was doing social media marketing, like what Digital Simple does.
Okay.
And I was getting no luck there.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think I probably wasn't trying hard enough.
Yeah.
I think looking back now with what I know and the mentality that I've got now, I think that I would be able to do better than I did.
Yeah, totally. It's a bit like rolling a boulder down the road, right? Like, it's pretty hard to get started, but once it's got momentum, it's a lot easier to keep it going.
Absolutely.
So you tried that, then the videography / photography came in. Yeah. Sort of June, July, August, and then we are like, where are we at now? So you've left uni. Are you living with Ben at that stage?
Not until November.
Gotcha.
Or December.
And the reason I ask is I wonder if you're hanging out with people that are doing other stuff as well, not necessarily at uni.
I was flatting with my mate who's at uni now.
Oh yeah.
And it was just me and him because my other 2 flatmates had left, gone overseas and gone up to Auckland.
Gotcha. Okay. So you left uni and then you joined IHF around Augustish, was it?
It was June, July.
Okay.
Yeah, started
right.
July into June.
Right. And did that open your eyes to the world? Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
It very much changed my environment. Going from hanging around uni students, mostly from being in the halls, to hanging around people doing their own thing and trying to just grow their shit.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Because were you going to the uni gym before?
I was. Yeah. I was going to City Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to the uni gym before that, but then I lost my student ID. So I was going to City Fitness. Right. I actually found it the other day. I got my card detailed and they found my student ID.
Oh, funny. There you have it.
Yeah.
And so we are now in February 2024. So you've been operating about 9 months in business.
Yes.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Where are you at now? Present day, Graeme. You've got your own business. You're also involved in another one.
Yeah.
Give us the brief lay of the land.
So we've got Agentery, which is real estate media. And that is going amazing.
Yep.
It's awesome. I'm killing goals that I set for myself last year, which is really, really cool. And we've got Impact Shorts, and we actually just got our first client.
That's great.
Big shout out to John Fulton.
Shout out to John Fulton.
Yep, like an hour ago. So
right.
Awesome.
So it's fresh.
It is very fresh.
That's a pretty exciting milestone.
It is.
That first paying client.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big moment.
It's very big.
Yeah, because you and your business partner have been working on that behind the scenes for about what, a couple of months?
4 months, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, since we decided we wanted to work together and just figuring out how that was going to look.
Yeah.
And then we decided on Impact Shorts.
Yeah. And how did you meet Sam? Was that through the gym? Or?
It's kind of funny. So Ben and Zach had a meeting with James Wallace, and Sam came along to film that. So that's how I first heard about Sam.
Gotcha.
So I chucked him a follow on Instagram, and I've been seeing his stuff. And in probably around June, I was doing a few car photo events, and I needed a location for a shoot. So I knew Sam did the photos for Chevron, and I looked in the photos and found the GPS location for where he did, where he took those photos. So I went along there on a Saturday, not knowing that he'd be there.
Right.
And he was there, and I went over and I was like, "Oh, Sam, like, how's it going?" And he's like, "Holy shit, how does he know my name? He's coming to kick me out."
This is weird.
yeah. I was like, "Oh, it's Graeme. Like, we've been chatting online for a bit."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh shit, of course." And then
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I think we must have caught up a couple of times after that, and he was just super, super willing to give me any knowledge I needed, any advice. Like, if I asked him a question, he'd send me like a 10-minute response. And then eventually we figured out that we wanted to work together.
Yeah. Wow. And it just so happened that you both go to the gym as well. That was coincidental.
He didn't start until October, November.
Oh, yeah.
At IHF.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, funny, because that's similar-ish to how I met him the first time in person. Right. I was connected with him on Instagram, probably through Digital Simple, maybe just Instagram. But then I was at this photo shoot with Goldman. We're on the roof at the crossing, and I just had no idea who he was. I didn't know that they were the same person. He's like, "Oh, I'm Sam, by the way." I'm like, "Oh, fuck." It all makes sense now.
Yeah, of course. It's all connected.
So funny. And okay, so you got some big goals for this year. Massive goals.
Huge.
You don't have to go into the specifics, but you can talk about maybe the mindset behind that and just your methodology. And
so I think that the best way to set goals, from my limited knowledge of goal setting, is to set something so ambitious that you'd be fucking stoked if you achieved it. And that way, like, if you fall short, you're still going to do amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's my mindset behind the goals I've set this year. It's something that scares me. And when I set them, I didn't necessarily have a roadmap for how I was going to get to those goals. But I've sat down since then and I've worked out all the numbers and how many videos I need to do, how many clients I need to have in order to achieve those goals.
I think that's a critical part of it. I think it's one thing to pull a figure out of the hat arbitrarily and be like, I want to make $10 million this year with no formula behind it, but having broken it down, like that's the essence of it, right?
Yeah. My goal isn't quite $10 million this year, by the way.
No.
But
maybe next year.
Maybe next year, yeah. I absolutely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. I think also that if you've got to have some level of comprehension, right? Yeah. But I mean, it's sort of that 10x type theory, right?
Yes.
Setting big goals, understanding that it's going to take 10 times the activity to get there. And if you fall short, you've still got to win.
Yeah. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you land amongst the stars, right?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that didn't you set some goals in early 2023 around making money?
Yeah, so at the start of 2023, when I was doing the digital marketing stuff, I set the goal of doing a $20,000 month by the end of December, and I didn't quite hit that. And I definitely didn't hit that in the digital marketing.
No.
But I was very, very close in November to getting to that goal. And in January, if I was here for the first week, I would have hit that goal.
So, just to put this in perspective, you set that goal back when you were making virtually nothing.
I was working as a lifeguard minimum wage, so $800 a week.
Yeah. Pre-tax.
Pre-tax, yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible.
That's crazy. And yeah, now I can quite easily do that in a day.
So this really does speak to that power of setting goals and writing it down, documenting it, aiming toward it. Incredible, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you just know what you're working towards and you wake up every day and you look at it, you're like, this is what I have to do to get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
It might take time. It will take time, but you'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah. I reckon having that and just tuning out all that other noise, I think that's been something really valuable to me lately, is turning off my entrepreneurial spirit somewhat and just really channeling my attention into one thing. I know it's like so simple and it's very logical, and it seems crazy that it's taken me this long to figure that out. But I think when you do that, you can really achieve a lot. And a lot of the coaching clients have got, by default, they're in business, right? They're entrepreneurial. They've got a level of creativity, and so it's only natural that they're going to see other opportunities and potential distractions. But
of course,
the ones that seem to do the best have been able to moderate that and to, I guess, have a level of control over that.
Well, yeah, we've only got 16 awake hours in a day.
Where'd you hear that?
Where did I hear that?
Probably me.
Probably.
I say that a lot.
The pie chart, right?
The pie chart.
The pie chart.
Yeah.
And if you can put as many of those hours into that one thing, then it makes sense that it's going to grow for you, right?
Yeah. Totally. It's like the opposite analogy of, like, if you're trying to concentrate on 100 different things, if you move them all 1 millimeter, or you could just move one thing like 10 centimeters, whatever that number is, right? So exciting.
Very.
So you got your first client today. That's cool. But Impact Shorts.
For Impact Shorts.
You've got some clear goals for the year. We've got some shared interest around health and well-being, sleep, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, with trying to put on muscle mass. And eat as clean as possible.
Yep.
And get good sleep.
I'm quite into the rump steak.
The rump steak?
Yeah.
Would you say you prefer it to the porterhouse?
Is porterhouse the same as sirloin?
That's a good question.
I think porterhouse may even be the below rump, is it?
No, I think porterhouse is above. It's always more expensive at the restaurants. Maybe
it goes rump, porterhouse, sirloin, ribeye.
I think so.
Yeah, that's the hierarchy of steak.
Yes.
I was pretty skeptical on the rump, but I think it's good.
Yeah,
it's
if you
fine.
cook it well, it's awesome.
And it's a fraction of the price of the ribeye. So
yeah, the ribeye does have more calories though. So if you're bulking, then that's beneficial because it's a fattier cut.
And I mean, it is delicious.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. I guess you go through phases of life, right? You go through a rump phase and then you're trying to get to the ribeye stage. Yes. Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Just thinking out loud.
Yeah, so at the moment I'm trying to eat as much steak as possible.
Yeah.
I was careful what I said there. And if I can have double the amount of steak for the same price, it just makes sense for me to go with the rump.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I'm overly worried about spending too much on steak. I'll be on the Aura ring soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, gonna get one of those. Track my sleep because this last week it's not been good for sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Busiest week so far, and it's just trying to find time for everything.
Just managing your 16 hours. Yeah.
16 hours or sometimes 18 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all struggle with that. Like, I think regardless of how, like, successful or dialed in you are, I just don't think there's any.
Even when I was doing nothing, I was still struggling with the sleep sometimes.
Yeah. I tell you what, this EMF mat, the electromagnetic field mat, game changing.
Really?
Yeah. I'm only 3 days in, but it's just had a dramatic effect on my sleep, energy, vitality, clarity. Really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long do you do that for?
It depends on what you've got available, but you can choose either 8, 16 or 24 minutes.
Okay.
And you can also
You can't choose in between?
No. Well, I mean, you can just get off if you want.
Yeah.
You could just walk away. It still hasn't locked you in.
Okay.
And then you choose whether you want like sleep mode, like rest, I think it's called, or vitality or energy, or.
Is it like a electronic device?
Yeah, so it's a physical thing that you plug in, and then you lie on it just with your clothes on. It's like a camping mat style thing.
And it's got like a metal plate on top, a stone plate?
No, it's all built in, so you don't really notice it. It's comfortable.
Okay. And it's just like a camping mat?
Yeah, pretty much. It doesn't really have any physical sensation. Like you can kind of feel something going on, but not really.
Okay.
So yeah, James Wallace got me onto it.
Right.
He had one in December, and I had his one for a couple of days, and experienced similar effect. And then I was talking to Emily about it, and she's like, "Let's do it.
Just go for it.
Let's go." So,
is she enjoying it?
Loving it. Yeah, her reaction's been a little bit different to mine, but still positive, just different. Like, she's had like some different experience, but still good. Yeah. So yeah, something to consider.
Okay.
Something to put on the consideration list.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what else are you up to? You've got PT.
Yeah, so we're training once a week with Hamish now.
Yeah.
We've moved that up from fortnightly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I find that super beneficial.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Especially the early morning sessions. It's good. It just gets you out of bed. You get a head start on the day.
Isn't it a great analogy for a lot of things in life? Like, obviously we're capable of going to the gym solo, and that's a part of the mix. But when you go and have that session with him, it's like next level difficult. Plus you're doing so many like isolated movements and things that you wouldn't normally do, right?
Absolutely. And obviously when you're there with him, you're going to get your form right.
Yeah.
So you're going to train better.
Totally.
And he just pushes you. Like if you're by yourself, it's easier to just say, I'm failing at this rep. Whereas if you're about to fail, he'll like help you get that final rep. Yeah. And it's just going to lead to more gains. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also helpful, I think, that he practices what he preaches. Like, he's pretty jacked.
Yeah. No, you can tell he's a PT.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's like such good value for money, right?
Absolutely.
Like investing in that kind of thing. Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's an investment in yourself.
Totally. Yeah. Both in like your overall wellness, but then also like skill development, right? Like learning different movements and different techniques and exercises.
Yes.
So yeah, huge fan of that. So Graeme, you were my first client, coaching client.
Absolutely.
I didn't know if you wanted to mention that, but I thought I'd just mention it anyway. Because it's a milestone thing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, you always, like today with your first Impact Shorts, you always remember John Fulton. Shout out to him.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first client with Agentary?
The first paying client, I think.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially even the ones who allowed me to build my portfolio at the start. Like, I maybe haven't worked with them now, but when I had nothing to show them real estate wise, and they're like, absolutely, like, I'd love you to come and film this house, and they gave up their time because obviously they had to be there. They didn't trust this kid who just walked in with a camera, right? It's
a really good point. Because we're both familiar with the Hormozy model of pricing, right? The start at free and then discount 80, discount 60, discount 40, raise prices.
And that's what I'm working on at the moment, right?
It really, it's just so simple. Again, like I bring it up in most coaching sessions, just because it's like the easiest possible way to understand pricing.
Yeah, exactly.
And as you say, I think like it's important to get that first paying one, but then also the free ones are equally important because they're still, contributing time.
Yes.
There's still trust.
I've got a free shoot today from someone who I promised a free shoot when I was first starting. Yeah. And we're finally getting into it. We got around to it.
Yeah, cool.
And she'll be a very big client because I'm sure that she's going to love the video.
Yeah, that's it. And so I think the way that you're set up now, like you'll be so much more capable and confident to talk to her as well. Like,
absolutely.
Like you'll be in a way better position to convert her to a paying client, right?
Yeah. Well, for one, when we're there, she's going to have a better experience because I can direct her now. I know how I want the shots to be. And also because I've got the credibility there because I'm doing it for all these other agents, she's not going to have to stay there at the house with me the whole 2 hours that it would take me to film.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a bit quicker now because I'm more confident.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's less time investment for her. She's going to get a better product than when I was first doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully she loves it and will continue to do videos going forward.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So good. We filmed the Forbes podcast together, didn't we?
We did, out in Forbes' place that he's built up.
Yeah.
Awesome place. I've heard he's done quite a bit of work to it since we filmed it.
Yeah,
Even since the Christmas party.
Yeah, I was there last weekend and it's looking pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, no, looking really good.
Awesome.
And he's got himself a yard now as well.
Does he?
So that'll help separate like personal from business.
Yes. So is he fenced off the back part closest to the house?
No, it's a separate site.
Oh, got himself a yard for
Like a building.
Is that in Darfield as well?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And so we're off to Reefton
We are.
soonish, aren't we?
The distillery.
That'll come out of nowhere, won't it?
It will. Bit of a Tesla road trip. And
Yeah.
stop at the hot pools. Is it Maruia Springs?
Maruia Springs, yeah.
For a cold plunge.
Cold plunge.
Cold plunge and then hot pools.
Mega cold.
Yeah. Mega cold.
Mega cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been there before.
Oh,
I've driven
man.
through.
It's a cool spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
I don't think there's any Wi-Fi, right? Good place to escape.
There's definitely no data.
No data, that's right. Yeah. If
They
you want to
might-
just shut your phone off for the weekend,
Yeah.
great place to do it.
Yeah, totally. So we've got we've got that episode coming up. What else is happening this month? You've got your
100th episode.
the 100th episode, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Jesus. So those are two quite closely
Very
events, aren't
close.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, get excited.
I'm stoked. I'm pumped.
Yeah, we've got a few things to figure out, but
We'll make it work.
the guest list is pretty cool. Yeah,
Can you reveal on the podcast? Or is that what people have to wait for?
probably could.
Probably could.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've revealed a couple. So Johnny Smith,
Mm-hmm.
he's on board.
Okay.
He is a past podcast guest.
Multiple times.
Multiple, you're right. Yeah, well put. James Wallace,
Mm-hmm.
again, multiple.
Third time?
Third timer.
Third time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Amos
Okay.
Banbury,
Yep.
he's a second timer.
Mm-hmm.
And who else have we got? We've got Dan Hood.
Yep.
Again, he's a third timer
Okay.
on the podcast. We've got a friend / connection of Dan's that we don't know a lot about. But
Mystery guest.
it's a mystery guest. Yeah, I know very, very little about this mystery guest.
Okay. That'll keep it exciting.
Yep. And then we've got Tom Hardy.
Oh, how good.
How good?
I was filming a place for Tom yesterday.
Yeah, cool.
And got another one today.
Nice. Shout out to Tom, actually.
Shout out to
Sponsor of the podcast.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And IHF. Good to interject a bit of,
Bit of sponsorship.
bit of sponsorship chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the premium space is opening the day after we do it.
The day after, right?
Yeah.
What day is that?
Are you going to do that?
Am I going to get the premium?
Yeah.
I could be convinced.
Yeah. I convinced someone the other day.
Who'd you convince?
Can't say, but
Can't say. Oh, okay.
but they committed on the spot.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Forbes is doing it. You're doing it.
This other guy's doing it.
I might have to.
The way I spoke to this other guy about it was like, it's 10 grand a year, right? Roughly.
Yeah.
Could you get 10 grand worth of value out of that? Like, could you get a connection? Could you get something out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Would you get 10 grand worth of value out of that?
Could do.
It's a gamble,
It is.
especially at your stage, like just being real, like
Mm.
it's not like you're making 10 million a year. So,
No.
so that would be a chunk.
It would
But if
be
you hit
true.
your goals that you're talking about, then it's a smaller chunk.
It is. Yeah. Definitely.
It's worth considering. And we've got 2 spots left.
2 spots left.
Yeah, 2 spots
For the
left
podcast.
for the podcast. Yeah, we've got also, who else have we got? My mind's gone blank.
That's okay.
But there's another few that have
Mhm.
locked in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, totally.
And for those who don't know, we're filming it in the sauna.
In the sauna.
So we have some difficulty there trying to figure out how we're going to get the equipment to handle 90-degree temperatures.
I got a hack from someone else the other day that produces podcasts. He's like, it's going to sound a bit weird, but if you get some non-lubricated condoms and put your mic in that.
Non-lubricated condoms?
Non-lubed. No lube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like these sort of mics?
Yeah.
And what would that do?
Just protect it from the moisture and the heat.
Moisture and the heat.
Well, I guess not the heat, but maybe
heat.
the moisture.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds a bit weird, right?
A little. I feel like it might affect the audio quality.
It does, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a test run
Okay.
at some point.
When are we doing that?
I don't know. Sometime between now and the 16th. Yeah.
So do you think we get those cheap JCar microphones for that?
Maybe. Yeah. It's
Ones
definitely.
that it doesn't matter if they break.
Exactly. Yeah. I think for $20 it's probably fine to look at them like a consumable item.
Yeah.
It's
just an expense of the episode.
Cost of business. Yeah.
Cost of business.
Yeah. So no, that'll be exciting. It'll be somewhat chaotic, but I've got a few ideas on how to run it and how to make it less chaotic. So yeah.
How good.
Super exciting. What else, mate? What else is on your mind?
What else is on my mind? Good question. Can you tell me what's on my mind?
Yep. So you've got a couple of trips planned.
Yes.
That's exciting.
That's true, yeah. So I'm looking to go to the US for the NBA playoffs. I'm a big fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they are the second seed right now. So looking like they'll be doing well in the playoffs.
Cool.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
So that'll be around May, which will be nice because real estate sort of dies down end of May, start of June.
Right.
So I won't be missing out on as much work as
Yeah.
it was to go to a different time.
Yeah,
I think
true.
it'll be good to have a break that I can sort of work towards.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really good. Yeah, I guess it highlights that whole thing that we talked about the other day about transitioning from self-employment to business owner.
Yes.
Just in that, at the moment, I mean, we're both in a similar boat in that we're, more or less trading time for money.
Yeah. Just a high paid freelancer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is great,
but
probably something to evolve over the.
It's something that you can't do forever. At least from my perspective, I don't think I could be a high paid freelancer forever.
Yeah. Well refined there, because I think a lot of people do, and maybe don't mind it, but or maybe do mind it, but just do it anyway.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on the level you're doing it at, because I think I could be a freelancer forever. I don't think I could be a high paid freelancer forever. I think it would get to a point where I would want to dial it down and just choose the stuff that I really, really want to do.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? Sort of that sustainable point, right? Like you can't sprint a marathon.
No, exactly.
Or you can't.
Even though the fastest guy's probably
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking it's a bad example, but a normal human.
I couldn't sprint.
A normal human.
Yeah.
So you got to either dial it up or down, right? Yeah. So that's
absolutely.
interesting, but all part of the journey, right? Did you want to speak a little bit about those courses that you've purchased?
Yeah.
Invested in?
Absolutely.
I think this is quite interesting. For me, for the viewers potentially. So you've done, is it one or two?
I've just engaged a mentor who's in the same space as me in Melbourne.
Yeah.
He does, if you know White Fox Property, he does all the videos for them. And he does some really big numbers. So he's got his business to consistently $50,000 a month.
Right.
And he's just done a $70,000 a month. And I've also invested in a property videography course.
Yeah.
So they're also in Australia, which is good because it's like a more similar market than the States.
Yeah.
Numbers wise, obviously the numbers in Australia are bigger than in Christchurch. That's just how it's going to be when you're filming $10-20 million properties daily. But it is like that. The systems and the way they run their business is very similar to how I could implement it here.
Yeah, that's really interesting to have seen a little bit of that content behind the scenes, like the product that you're getting for the money. You know, I think if most people are familiar with online courses that are available, like there's sort of that lack of awareness, I guess. Like if you haven't purchased one, or if you haven't paid for premium content before, it was really, because what was it roughly, like $6,000, $7,000?
The mentorship was $5,000 for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And the course was, I think, $7,500.
Gotcha. Yeah. So basically you get a whole archive of content, right? Templates, information. Yeah.
With the course.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've got 4 modules. So they've got the shooting, the editing, the operations, and the growth. And then we haven't been doing this recently, but they've got weekly calls. Everyone jumps on a call. We pick a topic. We watch over people's videos, see what we could improve on, and it is pretty harsh critiquing, which is awesome. That's the way I like it. Because if you're not harsh and you're just babying someone, they're not going to improve. Yeah,
it's not valuable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got that in there. They're just introducing a CRM for property videographers.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's very, very tailored. It's got all the different stages, and that's going to be really cool. So that comes out halfway through this month, I think.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And the mentorship, that starts on Monday. So what's today? Friday. So I have to actually get back to him. I'll send him through the questionnaire.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically just anything and everything about his business and the way he's got to where it is.
Yeah.
From the shooting, the way he edits. Yeah.
It's so interesting, the mindset around spending money on professional development or education, whatever you want to call it, right? Like you could look at it in so many different ways. Like you could look at what else could you do with that money? You could look at it a bit like the IHF premium, and that, you know, it's $10,000, but like, what can you get out of that?
Yeah.
It's the whole passion of mine, like price versus value. It's all about value.
Yes.
Right.
Well, if I can sign another client, another agent who gets a good number of listings, then there's an extra $10,000-$20,000 a year, which already has paid itself off.
Yeah.
And if it can get me to improve my quality of work, then all my current clients are going to be even happier.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, they're getting more value.
Yeah.
So it's transferring the value from them to my clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's the Hormozy special, right? Invest in education, skill development, be better, be more valuable, and I guess making the most of your 16 hours. Yeah, absolutely. Accelerating that growth, right?
Yes.
So rather than like learning it through the next 3 or 4 years, if you can condense that down to 6 months, pay a couple of grand.
You're going to jump the competition.
Big time.
Absolutely.
Massively. Yeah.
Yeah. If someone's scared to spend their money and they're pretty defensive about it, then they're just going to stay where they are. Well, they're going to grow, but they're only going up like a tiny amount.
Yeah.
Whereas the person who's willing to reinvest all of that, they're just going to, that's pretty much like paying to skip the line at the club.
Yeah, right? Totally. I guess it's the scarcity versus abundant mindset too, isn't it? You know, if you believe that there's more and that you're able to get value, then I think
that's what I was looking for there.
Yeah, you can kind of predict that. I think the other key distinction is though that it's one thing to invest in that, but you've got to execute on it.
Absolutely.
And partly because you're paying for it, you're naturally going to be more likely to. Whereas if you got it for free, you'd be less likely to, right?
Well, even a lot of people in the course, like, they're still not really executing on it. They're just like, oh yeah, no, I'd kind of like to have this knowledge. And then they'll watch the course and they're not doing shit. Like, why
do you reckon that is?
I think some people are just built different.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess so.
Everyone can just do awesome stuff, right?
Here's what I think it is. I reckon some people are just looking for that shortcut. They're just looking for the magic pill.
Right.
Like they're hoping that if they spend the $6,000, they can, make 60 and not have to do anything.
I think you're right.
That's it, I think.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking for that magic bullet, that lotto ticket.
Some people just aren't willing to put in the work.
Yeah. Yeah. And also believe that if you haven't found your thing, like if you're forcing yourself to do the work, but it's in the wrong channel, then maybe that's the other problem.
That might have been me with the digital marketing.
It was probably me with the marketing as well.
Right.
I think that was maybe the issue there. So, yeah, you got to find your thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you found your thing with the coaching.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, definitely feels like it, as only 9 months in, but definitely feels like it.
Has it been 9 months?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what LinkedIn
awesome.
says. It might be 6, but 6 to 9.
Yeah, it rounds up, right?
Yeah, it always rounds up. Yeah.
I've been doing this for years.
Yeah. Depends on who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you want to make yourself seem more credible, I've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
If you want to make your achievements seem a bit better than they are.
I mean, within reason, right? I do find that it is sometimes best just to be blatantly honest, especially if it is with people that you tend to think maybe you would be more inclined to exaggerate. Like I was with these guys last night that were, they were the sort of people that you would be more inclined to try and build yourself up, right? But I just told them the truth. I'm like, yeah, it's like 6 to 9 months, whatever. I'm figuring it out. I've got a lot of different experience and I'm loving what I'm doing and I like trying to help people.
That's awesome.
That's
all you need, right?
It's all you need. Yeah. And it's pretty hard to come back with any like criticism from that. Whereas if you had like been like, I'm the man, I've got all these clients, I've got my shit together. Yeah, it's really easy to pick holes in that.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, bit of honesty and just being vulnerable. I think it goes a long way sometimes. Yeah.
I was having that discussion earlier as well, just being vulnerable. That's how people are going to relate to you. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. I think I've learned so much recently just about having conversation as well. Just what you can get if you don't necessarily know where it's going to go. Yes. But if you're just willing to have a conversation. Like so many good things tend to happen, especially if you're on that upward trajectory. Like if you're hanging out with the right people and it's like more around like curiosity or shared interests rather than like gossip or negative talk or complaining, Yes. Well, I put it on my story a couple of months ago. I put out, do you consider yourself lucky? And
I think you stole that off me.
Maybe.
It was in the sauna, remember?
Yes, that's right. Do you consider yourself lucky? And my take on that is that you create your own luck.
Yeah.
You put yourself in situations where other people could consider you lucky.
I do believe that, yeah. I think that we're all at a certain point of luck, though, being born in New Zealand.
Of course.
Having, we've both got good parents. Like, I think we're definitely many steps ahead of a lot of people.
But also it's on a scale, like someone down here, lucky to them might not be as lucky to us.
True.
So it's also how you view things, right?
That's true. Yeah.
From an outsider's perspective, we might be really lucky, but then we might not look at luck the same way that someone else would.
That's true. Yeah, that's deep. Because you look at hyper successful people, and typically it seems that they've got some form of past trauma, right? Like they've had a rough upbringing, or they've had like some bad event happen to them, or there's some form of like chaos,
Something they're running away from.
Something they're either running away from or they're trying to figure out. Yeah, or they're just messed up by. I was just finished listening to the Elon Musk biography.
Okay.
And it talks about his childhood and it talks about his formative years, and it just explains a lot of the way he is, like that desire for chaos and that desire for maybe not drama, but kind of, Yeah. So we're all a product of our upbringing, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. So you're going to do some modelling?
I am, yes. So we've got... Hamish is actually going to be a model there as well.
Oh, really?
Awesome, yeah.
At the same gig?
Same gig. Today.
Yeah.
So I'm getting married.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to be a groom in a bridal shoot.
Right.
At the gym.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Who are you getting married to?
We're going to find that out.
Oh, you're looking for a bride?
Yeah, so if anyone is open to getting married. I think we've got the bride sorted, but I'm not sure which one's mine.
Oh, okay.
So, I guess whoever shows up first to the shoot gets to take their pick.
Wow. Is that how it works?
Maybe.
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 When's that shoot?
The shoot is halfway through this month, I think.
Jeez, around the same time as the
Around
sauna
the
pod.
next day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, it's the day after the shoot at Reefton.
Right, wow.
Yeah.
Whew. Big month.
Big month.
How was the month of January?
January was awesome.
Yeah, January was good.
That bit November, and I wasn't even here for the first week.
Wow. So a 3-week month and you still beat November?
3-week month, and it was my biggest month so far.
Wow.
And this has been my biggest week so far.
Wow.
It's been huge.
Love it.
It's still not quite where I need it to be to get my goal though.
The first quarter goal, you meant?
No, the full year goal.
Oh, yeah.
First quarter goal, that's 12 weeks. If I did this every single week, I would hit my goal for the first quarter.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
What was was there a celebration for, getting there? First quarter?
First quarter? I don't think I defined one.
Maybe we should put one in.
Maybe.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty sizable.
It is a
I think it's
goal.
big enough that it warrants.
I think so, yeah. That would be a very good goal to hit that.
Yeah. Watch is a top of mind for me at the moment.
Watch. Okay.
Maybe.
What do you have in mind? What do you got on that there?
That's a Rolex Datejust.
Nice.
Which is cool.
That's very cool.
I was with those guys last night, and one had a Rolex on. We were just talking about it, how it's like opened a whole bunch of conversations.
Yes.
Which was really interesting, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, I think we were talking again before about the fancy cars, right?
Yeah.
And how they lead to conversation.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the goal of getting a Porsche 911 for this year, I just think that would start conversations and open doors.
I mean, I agree.
It's hard to argue with, right?
It is hard to argue with.
It might be an expensive way to start those conversations, but it also is very enjoyable.
It all just depends on how you look at life, right? Like, if you look at it like in again, scarcity mindset, like how you're going to afford this is going to break down, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Or if you're like, well, we just got to make more money.
Just make more money.
I was talking to someone that will remain unnamed.
Uh-huh.
Probably. But similar thing, right? Like, he just bought a new car, and it's a bit of a step up.
Okay.
And similar mindset, you know?
Yeah, just make more money, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I sit on this. I don't know if it is crazy. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
I guess I'll do it and we'll find out.
I think so. I don't know whether to advocate for it or not. I think being in the position I'm at, I think I should be a little bit cautious, because I don't think I want to be seen as giving that kind of advice.
You could say you advised me against it and I ignored you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not advising against. I'm just neutral. I'm neutral on it. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
safe start.
That's the safe way to be. Yeah.
No, that's fair.
But I mean, from a personal perspective, like at the moment, we're just looking at a new house to go and rent, and it's quite a bit more than the current place. But it's also a lot nicer, and it's in a nicer area and nicer neighbours, and
very nice.
Everything's better. You know? So.
And it just changes your mindset almost. Like if you
absolutely.
If you wake up and you're in that nicer area, then you're just
positioning yourself way better, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Same as in here, like, and at the Loft. You know, shout out to the Loft, another sponsor of the podcast. First time doing this video in the Loft too, by the way.
Really?
Which is ironic given your line of work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
we'll
same as
film the next one.
What's that?
I'll get my camera along and we'll film the next one.
Will we there?
Yeah.
Have you got two?
I'll get another camera.
Yeah, okay. This just seems like a sustainable way to do it, though.
That's true.
2 iPhones, mics. I did the first one last weekend in this format. Yeah.
Was that with Blair?
No, with Josh Coleman.
Oh, okay. On the coast.
On the coast.
Yeah.
First out of town podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Taking it on the road.
Taking it on the road, yeah. So we are going to release that one soon, but But yeah, that's getting edited at the moment.
Nice.
So it could be like a good workflow to get into. Like, you know, not a expensive setup.
Sure.
Editing's affordable. You know?
Nice and easy.
Pretty easy, yeah. Yeah. May even get to the point of someone else can post it and do everything, like full end to end.
Yeah, you don't even have to go on Instagram to open it, to post it.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't need to go to our Instagram. How's your Instagram screen time looking?
I don't think it's too bad today because I was up at 5:30 and then went to the gym and then met with Sam and came here.
Yeah. So far so good.
So far so good, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got the men's mastermind after this.
We do. We've got a lunch to go to.
Do.
Yeah.
And then I've got 2 shoots back to back. I got to run with Ethan this evening, and then I have to edit all night. So
Jesus, that's a busy day.
it's a busy day. So it shouldn't be that bad today.
No.
I'll just delete Instagram for the day. Make sure I get my shit done.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get it back or not.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Why would you?
I don't know. I feel like I am maybe losing some contact with like certain groups or certain people, you know? Like
Okay.
I feel like I'm probably not quite in the... You do learn stuff from there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a question of if I can moderate it.
Yes.
Moderate my use. But we'll see. This lunch will be interesting.
It will be.
I think
How many
there's
people?
20 to 22 booked
That's awesome.
at Elements
At Elements.
by IHF.
That's like 2 tables.
Yeah, it's the max apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What sort of? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, should be good.
That'd be awesome.
A few randoms, a few people I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
They haven't come along before.
No,
Wow.
I don't know. They literally, I don't know who they are. Like shared connections, but that's it.
Yeah.
They must have just seen it on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome, right?
That's very cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be quite a good group as well.
Mm.
So before we wrap it up here, Graeme,
Mm-hmm.
coming up on an hour, which is that just flew by.
I didn't think I could talk for that long.
True. Yeah. Any final thoughts, comments?
Fuck the day.
Fuck the day.
Yeah.
Fuck the day.
Yeah. You gotta wake up and fuck the day.
What does that mean? Just like take control?
Take control. Just don't let the day get ahead.
It's a really good point, actually. Yeah, I fucked the day before. Like it was, and what I mean is that I took control of the schedule, which is something I've been doing a lot lately.
Yes.
Is really being mindful of time, like just like being precise, right? Like if something's scheduled for 10:30, like it's done, right?
Yes.
There's
It's
not
happening at
overlap.
10:30.
Unless there's a really good reason to go over, it's done.
Yes.
There's other shit to go to.
Absolutely.
And the other bit was, what's her name? Olivia Rodriguez?
Oh yeah.
Rodrigo?
Rodrigo. Yeah.
Rodrigo, yeah.
Yeah. Wake up, listen to Olivia Rodrigo, and be sexy.
There's some good wisdom to end on, I think.
I think so.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your business. I appreciate it. Number one.
I appreciate your coaching.
Oh, that's
learned
good.
A lot.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm really stoked to be working with you, and it's incredibly exciting to see even where you've come from in the last 6 months of knowing you to present day and like seeing the goals and the future laid out. So yeah, incredibly pumped to see where everything goes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
We'll see you back next time.